Welcome back, second graders. So today we're going to be working on Eureka Module 4, Lesson 26. So let's go ahead and get started. All right, our objective today is we're going to use math drawings to represent subtraction with up to 2D compositions and relate drawings to a written method. So what that means is we're going to be unbundling 2 times, and we're also going to be using a place value chart to help us understand what's going on in the algorithm. All right, let's go ahead and get started. So things to remember: the difference. The difference is the answer to a subtraction problem. And then remember our number bonds: whole, part, part. When we are subtracting, we have the whole, we have one part, and we're trying to find the other part. So another thing to remember, today we're going to be working on place value mats, but we are used to seeing the place value mat look like this with hundreds, tens, and ones chips. Today we're just going to be using colored dots. And you know, when you have a colored dot in the hundreds column, it's the same thing as having a 100 place value chip. If it's in the hundreds place, it's 100. All right, so we're going to need some materials for our lesson today. Today I want you to use a whiteboard and a marker. And if you don't have a whiteboard, use a piece of paper, use a sheet protector, whatever you have, because today we're not going to quite use those place value chips. We're going to focus on our drawings with our dots. Okay, so let's go. Okay, so today we're going to start with our application problem. So let's read it. Chloe needs 153 beads to make a bag. She only has 49. How many more beads does she need? Okay, so we're going to use a tape diagram. And with my tape diagram, I have 53 as my whole, and I have my part, and I'm trying to find that other part. How many more beads does she need to make that bag? So this is what our number sentence would look like: 153 take away 49. Okay, or I can do this. I can do 49 plus blank is equal to 153, because remember, when we have a tape diagram, if we have one part and a missing part, we can find it by adding and by finding the missing addend. So I think that's the strategy we're going to use today. So I'm going to go ahead and start with 49. Now, when I have 49, how many do I need to get to my next friendly number? Well, my next friendly number is 50, so I only need one more, and I'm already at 50. Now, to get to my next friendly number, I need 50 to get to 100. But if I know I need to get to 150, why not just make an arrow away that says plus 100? And that gets me to 150. How many more do I need to get to 153? I only need 3 more, and we have arrived to 153. Now that's not my answer. 153 was my whole. How many times did I jump? Well, I have a 1 here and 3 ones here, and I have 100. So if I add 1 plus 3, that equals 4 ones with 100. So that is 104. So that means that Chloe needs 104 beads. Okay, I think we're all warmed up and we're ready to start our lesson. So let's go ahead and take a look at our lesson today. We're going to start with 172 take away 56. Now, I have 2 charts here for us, and I want us to look at these charts. Both of them are similar, but I want you to tell me, which chart are we going to use to solve this problem? My base chart has 100, 7 tens, and 2 ones. My pink chart has 100, 7 tens, and 2 ones. And then it looks like down here we have 5 tens and 6 ones. So we have 172. And then on this side we have 172 and 56. So which one are we going to use for this problem? We are going to use this model right here, and let me explain why. The pink model shows you 172 plus 56. When we are subtracting, we don't need to make that other number because we have to take it away. So this model we would use if we were adding, but we're not adding, because when we look at the symbol, it says to subtract. So when we subtract, we only start with the whole. Now we're ready to get started. All right, so I have my problem here. I already made my chart. So let's go ahead and write this problem in the vertical form. So I have 172, take away 56. So we're going to start by taken a deep look at our number, because before we even begin, we should be looking at our numbers. And what I see here is I see a 2 and a 6 in the ones place. I see more on the floor. So I know when I get to my ones, I'm going to have to go next door. Now I see 7 and 5, more on the top. So I will probably just have to unbundle one time. So let's go ahead and get started. I'm looking at my ones place and I have a 2 and I have a 6. I have 2 ones and I need to take away 6 ones. Can I do that? Well, let's ask ourselves, is there more on the top or more on the floor when we look at the algorithm? More on the floor, so we go next door to get 10 more. So let's go ahead and show you what that looks like. I'm going to go ahead and get my 7 tens and I'm going to cross off the 7, and now I have 6 tens, and instead of 2 ones, I have 12 ones. So on my chart, this is what it looks like. And there we go. And now we're ready to subtract. So when I look at my ones place, I now have 12 ones and I need to take away 6. I can do that. So let's go ahead and take away 6. And that leaves me with 6 ones. Now let's look at my tens. I have 6 tens left and I need to take away 5. Is that possible without unbundling? Yes, it is. So let's go ahead and subtract, and I am left with 1 10. And then that 100 is there all by itself. I don't need to do anything to that, and I just bring it down. So my answer is 100, 110, and 6 ones, or 116. Okay, let's go ahead and try another problem. I have 137 take away 45. Now I have 2 charts, my beige and my pink chart. And now I've laid out some numbers for you. So which one am I going to use to model this subtraction problem? I'm going to go ahead and give you a second to make your decision. Is it the beige one or the pink one? All right, if you said it's the pink one, you are correct, because remember when we subtract, we start with the whole and we take away. The beige model shows 137 plus 45. Our sign shows us that we are subtracting. We are not adding today, so you would use the pink model. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started. We have our place value chart made, and we're going to write our problem in vertical form. And the first thing that we do is evaluate what we're going to do. I am looking closely at the numbers, and I see a 7 on the top and a 5 on the floor. That means I don't have to unbundle my ones. Let's look at my tens. I see a 3 on the top and a 4 on the floor. I am going to have to go next door. And my hundreds are just alone. So let's go ahead and get started with our problem. The first thing we do is we look at our ones place. I have 7 ones and I need to take away 5. So here's my 7 ones and there goes 5 ones. So what am I left with? I'm left with 2 ones. So now let's look at our tens. More on the top or more on the floor? More on the floor, so go next door and get 10 more. So we're going to go ahead and go next door and bring that over and unbundle it. And now I have 13 tens. Let me show you what that looks like on the algorithm. I went next door and now I don't have any hundreds and I have 13 tens. Now I'm ready to subtract. So 13 take away 4 is equal to 9 tens. And then if I look at my hundreds place, you can see that I have 0 hundreds left. Our answer is 9 tens and 2 ones, or 92. And that's it for today. So if you have any questions, don't forget to ask, and let me show you what your seesaw assignment is for the day. Okay, for your seesaw assignment today, we have a problem here that says 145 take away 28. I want to know which one is the correct one that shows this problem. So you're going to circle which place value chart we're going to use. So go ahead and figure that out and circle it. Now, if you go to the next slide, spoiler alert, I have it there for you. So the next thing I want you to do is I want you to work out this problem, 145 take away 28. So you can see I have 100, 4 tens, and 5 ones. I do not have 2 tens and 8 ones because when you subtract, you do not build the other number. That's only when you add. So if you circled this chart or if you chose this chart on the other slide, great job. And that's it. So go ahead and solve this problem, and that's it. So we'll see you next time. Bye.